Oh, my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the tip to go. Oh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bowl TV. My name is Matt Canizaro, and thank you for joining me for the final day of competition from the 2021 PWBA Kickoff Classic Series at the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas. This is day 2 of competition at the PWBA Hall of Fame Classic. 16 games of match play yesterday, 8 more games today, and then we'll know our 5 players for tonight's stepladder finals. You get to watch all of the action unfold here on Bowl TV all day long. We've got some great guests lined up. Aaron Smith will be my co-host once again. We've got some surprises for you along the way. And, of course, the magic number as we count down the final game of match play to see who those 5 players will be. Stepladder taking place tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Bowl TV. A subscription will be required to watch that. However, the rest of the day, all of the match play, brought to you by Bowl TV. Absolutely free. Check it out. Tell all your friends. Looking forward to seeing you there. Great conversation in the chat. Great bowling, of course. Terrific storylines. We will have all of that and more as things get going. We're minutes away from the start. Again, 16 games yesterday, 8 more today. 24-game pinfall totals with bonus pins for each victory will determine the 5 players for the stepladder. With that said, let's get to it. Aaron Smith, welcome back to another exciting day here on Bowl TV.
Hello, Matthew, and hello to everybody. Welcome back. Hall of Fame Classic, final match play round. Let's go. Top 5 stepladder final tonight. I'm excited. You folks should be excited as well. This has been a crazy week, a fun week for the Kickoff Classic Series. I can't believe this is actually it. This is a final day. We've had so much fun. It's been such a great experience being back with the PWBA Tour, seeing the top athletes compete this week. 2 champions crowned on the national tour so far, a regional champion, and so very soon, the Hall of Fame Classic champion. So we're certainly excited about it. And as we get going, let's head to the lanes as they wrap up practice across the house.
All right, folks, if you missed any of the action yesterday at the Hall of Fame Classic, all pinfall did drop for these 24 players. They qualified based on their combined pinfall totals from the Bowlers Journal Classic and the ITRC Classic. 24 out of 36 advanced to this field. And again, pinfall dropped. So everything in the standings right now is total pinfall from yesterday's 16 games plus 30 bonus pins for each win in match play. Lindsay Boomerstein leading the way through 16 games. 13-3 was her match play record, including 11 wins in a row at one point. Phenomenal performance. She lost her first game and then rattled off 11 victories to find her way to the top of the standings. She has spent some time there during her PWBA career, but has struggled down the stretch and on TV. She has worked very hard at mental preparation and making sure that her equipment and her physical game are as prepared as possible to have some different results here in 2021. So we'll see if she can hang on today. Again, 8 more games. She just missed the stepladder at both events earlier in this week, finishing 6th and 7th respectively. She is very motivated and ready to get to that next level here on the PWBA Tour.
Absolutely. Lindsay's been one of the MVPs really this week of the Kickoff Classic Series. As you mentioned, just missed the first 2 stepladders, leading the way here with 8 to go. But the biggest name, the most buzz this week has certainly been about Jillian Martin. And, she's got some Mamba mentality coming into today. And we're going to bring in Jason Thomas from inside the ITRC to talk a little more about that. Hello, JT.
Hey, guys. Good morning. You are not going to believe what Jillian Martin is wearing on her jersey today. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes. Well, you technically already told me that's why
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah. I mean, so one of the things I love, I have a portrait of Tiger Woods in my office. It's a reminder to be badass and focus. And one of the things I loved about Tiger Woods was when he came out on tour, he basically said, "Hello, world. I'm going to kick all your butts," to these players, and rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And then he went and actually did it, and he became arguably the greatest player of all time, maybe second to Jack Nicklaus if he didn't have a back injury. But whatever. These players don't like it when you come out and say you're going to go out and kick their butts. They have a lot of pride, and they are incredibly tremendous competitors. And Jillian came out today, now that she's had 2 events under her belt and knows that she can do it, and said, "You know what? I'm here to win." Her dad said it on the show earlier this week. "What are you here for?" He said, "We're here to win." And by coming out today with that jersey, it's a badass baller move. And I'll tell you what, win or lose today, I'm a fan. But if she can pull off this win today, she's going to own these players for as long as she wants. In their mind, they're going to know that she's for real. So pretty interesting, amazing start to the day.
And that is, I think you can see on the front of her jersey, both the 8 and the 24, from Kobe Bryant to, I believe, yesterday was the year anniversary since his passing, along with his daughter. So that's, we saw Kyle Troop come out with a similar, jersey shortly after on TV. He ended up winning as well. So we'll see the Mamba mentality, if you will, of Jillian Martin today.
Yeah, and as a Laker fan, I can tell you, I was obviously a big Kobe fan, and Kobe was cut from the same cloth as Tiger and all those other, Michael Jordan, and I'm telling you what, this young lady is cut from that same cloth as well. It's going to be fun to watch today, guys.
Absolutely. Well, JT, thank you for the first of many sideline reports for today, I'm sure, as we get down to that final 5 for the stepladder final tonight.
Yep.
All right, folks, there we go. Some excitement. Jillian already making news, and that's just coming out here. JT's throwing the Tiger Woods reference around. I think that's been one of the comparisons we've all been just kind of potentially having lingering in the back of our head, is that we certainly know what Tiger did to the sport of golf, and is Jillian that type of talent? And I think through a couple of days here, it's hard not to argue that.
Absolutely, and she's got some obvious decisions coming up ahead of her. She clearly has the ability to play here on the PWBA tour at 16 years old, but very focused on her studies and her schoolwork as well. So the possibility of some more time on Junior Team USA, Junior Gold Championships, and of course bowling collegiately, all potentially down the road for her as well. So a tough choice there to determine the path she's going to take, and all of that could be changed potentially with a win here at this week's event. Totally, we'll see, and would like to have that conversation and hear more about it as the months and years progress. Definitely should not be in a hurry, but you never know. We've seen some great young talents come out and make an impact right away, and then we've seen others take a different path, and it's all about priorities and what's best for the players, of course. So looking forward to all of that beyond just the conclusion of today's Hall of Fame Classic.
Absolutely. And folks, as we settle in here, just a friendly reminder for everybody watching on boldtv.com, we thank you for doing so. We're going to be here for all 8 games, so you're already in the best place to be to watch all the action. You don't only have to watch us, you can pick from any lane, so you can follow your favorite athlete around the ITRC. So definitely a great benefit. Of course, the chat always rolling, so enjoy the Bowl TV community. For the folks watching on Facebook on PWBA and the Sport of Bowling USBC, a big welcome. We are going to be live for this first game, but after that, we're going to shut down the stream to Facebook. But we encourage you to check out bowltv.com. All you have to do is create a login. It's free. It takes just a couple minutes to do, and you'll be all set to go to watch the entire round 3 of match play here, including the always crazy position round, which we're definitely looking forward to in a couple hours here. And of course, the stepladder final tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. With that, you will need a Bowl TV subscription. We have 3 options to choose from. If you just want to pick it up for tonight, $4.95 to watch the stepladder finals, 5-player here at the Hall of Fame Classic. If you're looking into seeing a little bit more about what Bowl TV is all about, we also have an annual and monthly recurring subscription offers. Annual for $79.95, monthly for $9.95. So if you want to watch the PWBA tour all season long, 20 events, 13, 14 regionals, that's probably worth it just right there. But we have so much more. And just in terms of live coverage, we got qualifying and match play from the U.S. Open, the USBC Masters, on the collegiate side, regular season events, postseason events, the ITC and the ISC, Junior Gold Championships, USA Bowling, some of the premier youth events, and then on the senior side as well, looking at the Senior Masters and Super Senior Classic. So plenty of opportunities throughout the course of the year to watch live coverage here on BowlTV.com. So we definitely look forward to bringing you all that action. And of course, we hope you check it out. So head on over. Oh yeah, we do giveaways too over here. The folks in the chat will probably mention that we do cool giveaways. So we got something planned for this round. And then the grand prize tonight during the stepladder final. So this is once again the encouragement to get that subscription. We're giving away 3 bowling balls, 1 from Rotogrip, 1 from Storm, and 1 from Brunswick. And the big grand prize is an Xbox One S, all during the stepladder finals tonight. Carolyn Doran-Ballard will be here, Hall of Famer, Tony Franklin as well, and then our pregame show, which will be available on Facebook and BowlTV.com, featuring Betty Morris, Lisa Wagner, Wendy McPherson, and CDB, the bowler on the women's side of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So a lot in store for today as we settle into game number 1. But that's everything we got going on, folks. So that's what we want to make sure you're taking a look at. So we certainly hope you enjoy the coverage here. But that's kind of the rundown for today. But Matt, let's turn our attention here to our competitors as they tackle this certainly tough 41-foot condition. And on our featured pair starting today, we do have the one and only Jillian Martin taking on Valerie Bercier on 1 and 2, along with Angie Ramirez-Perea against Sandra Gongora. And on 3 and 4, Shannon O'Keefe taking on Diana Zavyalova, and Christy Leong against Julia Bond. Folks, if you watched yesterday, you already know, but the head-to-head matches go across the screen. So the bowler, our first bowler on 1 is bowling the first bowler on 2, second bowler on 1, bowling the second bowler on 2. So they go across, not necessarily up and down, but left to right. So that's who they're facing off against. So that's what we got for today. And yeah, let's sit back, watch, and enjoy. Plenty of storylines, as Matt said. Plenty of players within striking distance of the top 5 for the stepladder finals as well. Looking at the overall standings, we can go all the way into 9th place for players 44 pins back or less from the show. It's a bit of a bigger jump after that. Stephanie Johnson in 10th place at 132 back, and Maria Jose Rodriguez at 135 back. But essentially, from 1 to 9 is right about 150 pins. With the 30 bonus pins, that's nothing. That can be made up very quickly. So we expect some jumping up and down in the standings, of course, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. Someone is going to get lined up quick, make a run, and then we'll see if they're able to sustain it. We saw some of our players at the top of the standings yesterday struggle at the end when they had an opportunity to create some distance. So all that coming into play. Once again, the position round a little bit later as well. But that's what we got, Matt.
Hey, that is plenty, and some great guests, as we mentioned, coming on to help us break down the action and analyze what we've seen this week at the ITRC. But really, once we get down to the countdown, the magic numbers, that's when it all happens. So we're just filling time until then. But we appreciate everybody being here to check out the greatest ladies in the world doing their thing, and very grateful to have the opportunity, of course, to be inside the ITRC. All they've sacrificed to be able to participate in their craft here in 2021. So nothing but gratefulness from the players, and they put on a terrific show over the past few days.
Absolutely. That was definitely, I think, a question for some folks. Is obviously some players have had the opportunity to be on the lanes a little bit more than others, just based off of state regulations, local regulations with the pandemic. And, I think it was a question of, how sharp are some of these players going to be? How many opportunities have they had? And I think that is clearly proven that has not been the issue this week. These players have been ready, been prepared for this moment. Many of them continuing to train as if the PWBA was coming back the following week. Obviously, it kept being continued to be pushed back before it was eventually canceled for 2020. But these players have continued to put in the work. Many of them in the best physical shape of their lives, putting in the extra work, not only on the bowling game, but just in the physical aspect of being ready for these long events. We talked about only 3 players making match play in all 3 events: Lindsey Boomershine, Shannon O'Keefe, and Jillian Martin. This is game 59 in the past 7 days for them of legit competition. And, outside of everybody was off on Sunday for the regional, so they've only had 1 day of rest, and they've been putting in those kind of games, going to add another 8 to it. So it's certainly been a grueling test of endurance throughout this week, but they have proved up to the task.
Well, we know there's some battle scars out there, some aches and pains, and they wouldn't have it any other way. They're absolutely loving the fact that they're out here to compete, and just a few stretches and some Tylenol, and they're back at it. Because again, after missing all of 2020, they know how special it is to have the chance to get out there, and they're already in peak condition and doing the thing. And it's tough out there. It was a long day yesterday, a lot of bowling, and any of the players I talked to after they were done for the day, they were rearing to go for today. They could have bowled more games if they had to. Nobody sounded exhausted at all, and they absolutely should have been. So that's awesome, and it means a lot to the fans. And again, the players are ready. They wish there was more events and more games coming right up. They have to wait till April now, so that's going to be a little bit of torture for them. But some things learned here this week at the ITRC to take home and work on, and get ready for the next one.
To be honest, I believe they were much better prepared for this event than I know I was. I was not ready for the long days, and it had been a while. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to enjoy the opportunity to take a nice nap soon at some point. But this has just been a phenomenal week. These players have been ready. The coverage has been great. We've loved the ability to get the insight from not only the players after the block, which is a cool aspect. We've done it in varying ways throughout the course, but this has been an all-new experience this week. But getting kind of like the real-time updates from the ball reps over the course of a block. If someone's all of a sudden heating up, why is that working for them? We can bring in a ball rep, and we've done that throughout the course of the week. Same thing if someone's struggling after a strong start or had been near the top of the standings. What do they have to do? And then we can watch it live on Bowl TV, get to see those adjustments. It's definitely been a great experience and just a phenomenal week to be a part of history.
Well, Aaron, you mentioned getting to take a nap, and that's about all you'll get, and the Bowl TV fans as well. If you came into 2021 not yet a PWBA Tour fan or a Bowl TV fan or subscriber, hopefully the coverage this week has changed your mind a little bit, as Aaron described, very robust, and the ability to bring in folks from all around the world as far as an ocean away to give some insight was pretty awesome, seeing the ball reps. And then the coverage will pivot later in the week. Aaron Smith and JT, and if they need my help, headed to the Prairie View A&M Invitational coming up, some college bowling. So if the PWBA wasn't your thing, hopefully it is now. If college bowling is it, then that is coming up just a couple days away. So we don't mess around. We don't stop. And great coverage. 90 events coming up this year. So there's definitely going to be something for you. And we're glad to be able to bring it to you.
Certainly so. And just taking a look in the Bowl TV chat, appreciate the love, folks. We definitely appreciate it. Do have a question from Brian. The length of the pattern today, 41 feet is the length. For information more, please visit pwba.com. You can find not only tournament results, pairings, oil patterns, schedule, but you can find live scoring as well. A great asset this week to kind of follow along with the scores as well. But that's kind of the kind of where we're at with everything. But as we get toward the halfway point, Matt, we're going to have a special guest joining us here on Bowl TV. And you mentioned bringing people in from all across the country. That's been such a great aspect of our experience this week. And we're actually going to bring in one of our competitors from the 2021 PWBA Kickoff Classic Series. She competed in the first two events and then had an excellent showing at the regional event, finishing as the runner-up. So, Matt, let's bring her in. Jody Scherer.
Hi, Matt and Aaron.
Hi, Jody. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing excellent. Another day here, our final day. It's been a crazy week of action, but it's been so much fun to see the PWBA back and to see you back as well. Talk about this week for you.
This week has been amazing. It's so good to be back after 20 years. It was definitely an eye-opener. Lots of ups and downs, but many, many more ups and downs for sure.
Well, hopefully you made it home safely and had a chance to decompress a little bit to just think over the week and what it meant to you. And again, it started off a little stressful for you. You had some time to get comfortable at the ITRC, whether that was the venue itself or the stage, but you got there. It was awesome to watch it unfold. I knew going in that you were going to be a factor this week. It took a minute to get there. But the world, the sport has changed a little bit since we last saw you on the PWBA tour. Talk about the transition from 1998 and those couple of years where you had success to nearly 2 decades later, coming back and making a return trip and being the comeback player of the week.
Definitely. I mean, the sport has changed so much. You go back from the 90s, we used to play the lanes left to right, and CG and pin were a huge factor. Now you're playing the lanes left to right a little bit, but more back to front with the hook spot and the weight blocks and the cover stocks and pin up, pin down. It's all just so different from back then. And also, like, just being out on tour is different. There's a lot of youngsters, a lot of great, good bowlers, especially out of college. And then don't even mention Jillian Martins. I mean, she's been doing great. So, I mean, she's not even in college yet. So, definitely different. When I joined back in the 90s, I was the youngster out of college. And we had a lot of Hall of Famers back then. And now I saw Liz this week, so that was nice to see a familiar face. And then I got to cross with Shannon O'Keefe, which back in the day, she had bowled a few stops with me back then, but not as competitive as she now. She's just amazing. So definitely very different.
Among the storylines this week, of course, was the global reach of the PWBA. We have 10 countries represented. Many of the players have gone through the ranks of the international competition and college bowling. You were a trailblazer in that regard. You did that back in the 1990s. You were a star for South Africa internationally at many of the great events, the World Championships, and then had a nice collegiate career, a decorated collegiate career before joining the PWBA tour. And that is quite the path. And again, the trailblazer for that stepping stone situation. Tell us about that and the decisions to move across the ocean to come and chase that dream.
Yeah, definitely. Well, South Africa, bowling is not as big as it is here in the States at all. And when I was 12, a bowling center opened up in my hometown down the road from me, which I could actually walk to. And I remember my grandparents saying, let's just go bowl. And I remember us waiting over an hour just to get one lane to open so that we could play. And from that day, I just absolutely loved it. My whole family bowls. My sister actually bowls for Team England, Team England, the 50 team and over. So she bowls for them. And that centre opened. And then I started bowling a lot of youth tournaments. And way back then, that was probably in 1984, Guppy Troop and Carol Giannotti, and two other players came too, and I remember seeing them, and they were Team USA, and they came and bowled and did some clinics. Jeannie Nakarada actually was the other lady, but I can't remember who was the fourth gentleman. But they came, and I just remember seeing them, and I'm like, I want to bowl like Carol Giannotti. And she was from Australia, and I thought, well, that's definitely something that can happen. And then in 1992 in South Africa, when apartheid had ended, we got a chance to go to the FIQ World Championships in Caracas, Venezuela. And that was my first international outing, and it was amazing. I made the top 16 there, and I remember bowling against all the different countries. But the three people that stood out to me really big was Tammy Turner. I've heard her mentioned this week. She was bowling for them, and then Robert Smith was bowling for the gentlemen. And the Team USA coach there was Tom Lemko, and I became very friendly with him and the team, and we just had such a great time. And I remember Tammy talking to me about college and really telling me I should maybe go for it, send a few feelers out, and I ended up going to Buffalo, New York. Thought it was part of the Big Apple, silly me. I thought, oh, New York, that's going to be exciting. It was a 2-year program. I just wanted to do 2 years because I wanted to go out on the ladies tour, but I felt like Team USA is really, really good, and, they're just impeccable. So I thought, well, I need to get some training and some different things. And so I managed to go to college and did outstanding. I wasn't even sure if I would make the team at the time, and luckily I made the team, All-American, Rookie of the Year, lots of great accomplishments from my college days, and absolutely loved college bowling. So that's how I came to America. But I did get to represent my country quite a lot, and I think that also gave me some international exposure for sure.
Well, here at Bowl TV, we also love college bowling, and personally, I love South Africa. Some of the best people I've met in my travels with USBC have been from there. In fact, one of our tripods is still in South Africa. So thanks to those friendly, helpful folks, helped rescue it from the airport at our last World Cup. So great people there. Looking forward to visiting someday. But I know, having moved to the United States, you fell in love with bowling and fell in love in general, and got to stay in the U.S. and get married and grew up in Florida a little bit here over the last 20 years. Tell us about that part of the journey. That's pretty unique. And how much do you get to go home and visit?
Well, absolutely. After, in around about 2001, when the tour was starting to wind down, and it ended in 2003. I'd met my husband probably about 2 years before that at the Hoinky Classic back in Cincinnati. We were just friends then, nothing big. But then in 2000, we started talking a lot, and he's the Hammer Ball rep of Jimmy Johnson back in the day. They used to live together, so that's how I met Tim. And I actually was coming to bowl the cream of the crop here, and when I came, my partner apparently got his card, and you couldn't have two members. So then I called my ball rep Jimmy Johnson, and he said, "Well, why don't you bowl with Tim?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll bowl with Tim." And then a year later, we started dating, and then I got married, and it's going to be 20 years this June 18th. 20 years. It's gone by so quickly. But we had 2 kids, and just life in general, work, family life, children. I bowled on and off here and there, and unfortunately we had some sickness in our family, and that took me out for a while, so kept me busy, and now I'm just so happy to be back bowling.
Now, your return to the sport came with some help from USBC Hall of Famer. It was Kendra Curry.
Yeah,
running a bowling center there in the Orlando area, and she talked back
absolutely.
into it.
Yeah, in 2017, she said, "Why don't you come and bowl?" And I'm like, "Come bowl with us." And I'm like, "You know what? My husband and I are going to come bowl with you." And we had an absolute great time. Bowl with her and just had a great time. She runs the bowling center over there, and just had a great time. And then just started bowling since then, on and off a little bit. So then seriously in 2019.
So life took you in a direction that allowed you to get back to the lanes, and you were ready for some top tier competition, as we talked about in 2019, and then of course 2020 happened. But what was the plan for going into 2020 with all the preparation? And was the PWBA tour a goal for you, or was that something you were gonna to try a few events?
Yeah, I got my card, and at the time with the work, I work in the airline industry. My days off felt perfectly. They were off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I planned to bowl the tour. I had bowled 2 regionals, missed one of the top 5 by 1 pin in Rhode Island, and that was the last tournament in time I traveled, and then COVID hit. So that was my plan for 2020, but with Florida, it's been pretty open much. So we've been bowling tournaments just about every weekend. And also another great bowler that has got me back into bowling. Him and his wife have been so supportive. I bowled a team tournament with Walter Ray Williams. I think you've heard of him. Just a little bit. And we bowled it. There's a team tournament here. Pete Ferraro runs this excellent tournament every year, and you have to have a PWBA 50, a woman, and then 3 open bowlers on the team. And it was me, Walter Ray, another team member of mine is Josh Johnson with Hammer, and then we've got Dennis Rakakis and my husband, and we won that tournament, and it was great. So from winning that tournament and feeling that like I had that adrenaline again, I wanted it so bad. And so Walter's been working with me, and Mike Moore, another Hammer. So I've got a really good support system here that I've been working with to get me back in shape to bowl the tour. And then my ball driller is Eric Ramos with Strike Big Pro Shop. So I couldn't be happier with the support that I get from here, for sure.
There's some very familiar names. You're making me a little bit homesick talking about all the folks from back home, but they clearly have prepared you for what you encountered this week. I know, again, we talked about a little bit of a slower start than you'd hoped for. Tell us about some of those initial struggles, and then you solved the problem in a way that it was surprising. It was different. It was 1998 solution. Of course, you had an extra pair of shoes with you, whereas nowadays there's interchangeable soles and things. So it was a unique solution, and it worked. So tell us about the struggles first, and then we'll talk about the great success later in the week.
Yeah. So I started the tournament. Obviously, there were a few nerves. It's my first tournament back in 20 years. Looking around, all the girls are so much younger than me. Some of the ball reps even called me grandma this week. So it was in a good way. So it was difficult. I think also it's very different over there because the ball return is behind the lanes. Normally when you're bowling a tournament, the ball returns are right there, so you're used to that. So that made a feeling of a lot of openness, and it's just, and then all the cameras are everywhere. So I think at first I was just trying to get the jitters out, but then I was sticking a lot in the corners for my corner pins. And then I do with that, I started missing spares, and then it just becomes a domino effect because I missed those spares, and then I lost some confidence, and then it just kept on going, and I missed a ton of spares, which is not like me at all. And obviously I was very upset with myself. but the shoes that I had are great shoes. I don't normally have a problem with, but they're the most slipperiest shoes that I have. And the problem that I had was I was sticking. So I'm already on my 12 slides. So there isn't one higher than that. So luckily I had another pair of hammer shoes, and I tried that for the regional, and that was a little bit better, and I could plant my foot better, get my feet underneath me rather than sticking. So I think the combination of missing spares, sticking, and the nerves, just that first round was a lot for me.
Now, you were able to pull everything together and stay mentally strong going into the second event, improved your performance, got a check. And so it was definite progress and great for the confidence, I'm sure. Talk about that, and then using that momentum going into the regional, where you bowled phenomenally throughout the qualifying round.
Yeah, the second round was a lot better. I watched the day before a bit of match play and try to watch Shannon O'Keefe, great teammate. And as I said, I knew her from before, so she was really good. I crossed with her, and I was really lucky about that. And she just said to me, go back and watch your tapes, and then, just watch a few of the ladies and just make notes and see what you think. And I watched a bit back of my game, and I also saw that I was standing too far up front instead of further back. I normally stand a lot further back on the approach, and for some reason I was standing closer to the first set of dots, which I don't normally do. So I felt a bit cramped at the foul line. So that was an adjustment I made for that second tournament. And also try to make one ball at a time, because, when you bowl league or you bowl a sweeper here, 4 or 5 games, I just see that the ladies just, they throw one ball at a time, they spit, they get up and they strike the next shot and just take their time. And around about the 4th game, I started getting my rhythm and just got a ball, moved left, and just try to just relax and throw the ball like the way I throw it. And it just was a lot better.
Well, it definitely looked like a lot of fun, some huge scores. And then you went on to get the #1 seed for the stepladder. Tell us about the excitement of the strikes piling up, and then knowing it was looking like you were going to be on the show and have a chance to bowl under the TV lights, so to speak, here on Bowl TV.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just I went in with the attitude that would just keep your feet underneath you, follow through, and stay firm. And I drilled up the ball reps. Chuck and Eric suggested I drill up the knockout at the beginning of the week, and I managed to throw that ball the whole day. Like I moved a little bit here and there depending on the lane because of what it gave me, but that knockout just rolled so good for me, and I just was very confident in my shot, knew that the ball was going to come back, and just went for it.
Now, making it to the stepladder as the top seed, of course, just one game to bowl. You got to watch the first couple of games. What were the feelings that you were experiencing as you were warming up and down watching as things were unfolding, knowing that it was near your time to be back in that position again? It's been a minute, so I imagine some additional nerves there. But talk about the moments leading up to the stepladder, and then the first couple of shots for you.
Well, first I'd like to say, we got a bit of time in between. So I went back to my room and I had turned my phone on, and the amount of outpour from South African friends, UK friends, Orlando friends, people from all over, Walter Ray, Mike Moore, Eric, like everybody, just the texts, and they're all watching it on Bowl TV. So it's amazing that they can see that. And I just, the flood of people overwhelmed, like with my phone, it was just crazy. So that was exciting for me, and I was so ready to do well, and I just felt so good and so confident that I was ready to win it. I wanted that so bad. And yes, there were nerves because I haven't been in a stepladder final probably, and other than the team event this past few months and last year, I hadn't been in a stepladder final for over 20 years. So that was really, I was excited for that. So I answered a few texts, didn't go through all of them because I thought I'll enjoy it later that night, and came back. And Elise, I bowl a lot with Elise because she's from Florida. She is actually coaching in Georgia now, but So it was nice to have another Florida friend on the TV final. And I remember saying to her, I haven't bowled a step-ladder final in so long, and she's like, yeah, it'll be good. And she was also pumped, But then watching the games and watching them play, I felt very confident in my shots and my ball. I was having, as my ball rep said, you have the berries. That must be a new saying, but I was like, okay. But I just felt so good, and I was ready to win.
All right, Jody. We're hoping you'll stick around for game number 2 with us here.
Absolutely, sure.
All right.
These girls are troopers. Just bowl a lot of games for sure. I'm glad to be home, but I really wish I was bowling.
Yeah, definitely a long week, but we're going to talk a little bit about that as we get into game number 2, as we wrap up game 1. For all the folks watching on Facebook, we will be shutting down the stream on that platform, so it's time to head over to bowltv.com and come hang with us and Jody as we get ready for the rest of this final round of match play at the Hall of Fame Classic. So we will be right back, but remember, folks, on Facebook, once again, all you have to do is create a login. You can watch all the Bowl TV action. You can interact with the Bowl TV chat. You can watch different channels, and you can catch up with Jody like we're doing right now. And, of course, the stepladder finals later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. You will need a subscription for that. They start as low as $4.95, a few different options. But, Jody, we're going to get right back with you in just a minute here. But we're going to be making the transition back to Bowl TV exclusively. So everyone hang tight. We'll be back with game 2 here in the final round of match play at the PWBA Hall of Fame Classic. All right, everybody, we are back here with game number 2 of the final round of match play here at the 2021 PWBA Hall of Fame Classic. And once again, we're going to be joined by Jody Scherer. So we're going to welcome Jody back in. And hello once again, Jody.
Hi, everybody, again.
It's been go ahead.
No, I was going to say, can I just let you know of a fun fact? Lindsay Boomershine. So back in Buffalo, I used to bowl with her mom and dad in a mixed doubles tournament, and she was just a baby. And now to see her playing and actually leading this week was definitely nice to see.
Yeah, she's certainly been putting together a great performance this week, and it's been impressive to see Lindsay just be so consistent, so steady, striking so much throughout the course of the week. It's been super fun. I know she's one of those players who we always talk about has always had, the physical skills to win on tour, and it just hasn't happened yet. But she seems in a great spot. And I think she's been one of the absolute standouts of this event so far for the
absolutely
whole Classic.
Making 3 top 12s, and she almost made almost 3 now, top 5, so top 4. So let's hopefully she gets it this time.
Absolutely, and Jody, we're going back to the regional on Sunday. You got paired up with Sydney Brummett, a longtime now Team USA member, and both of you just started striking right out of the gates. I believe both above 240 that first game, and you both never looked back. As what Matt talked about, once the strikes started adding up, just how fun was that to go through that whole block? You and Sydney basically were jockeying for that first spot the whole time. What was it like just trading strikes back and forth like that for 8 games?
It was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's always fun when you're bowling well and you have the berries, as Chuck says. But that was the first time I'd met her, so it was really nice to bowl with her. But I'll be honest, she was throwing urethane, and a lot of the youngsters nowadays throw urethane, and I just couldn't believe how well that ball was reacting for her. If she missed a little bit left, it held. If she threw it right, it hooked up. Perfect. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I should throw urethane, but I don't have much hands, so I'll just keep that out of the equation for now. But I had a great shot with my ball, but I was just impressed with how well she was doing with that urethane ball. And then obviously just back and forth. When I looked up at one point, I was the leader for 2 or 3 games, and then she was the leader. Then it all came down to the last game, and she didn't. I think she struggled a little bit towards the end, and I think a few splits, temp and stuff like that. So I took over, and I was ready to win. But yeah, unfortunately that didn't happen, but it was such a good game.
It certainly was. It was exciting to watch. Just trading strikes back and forth there with Jackie down the stretch, and I have to ask, have you forgiven the 7-10 yet from that 10th frame?
I think Matt had said to me, "What would you have done different?" And I just said, "Absolutely nothing. I thought I threw it great. When it came off my hand, I thought that is flush, and the ball just didn't pick up." So what can you do? I didn't dwell on it too much. Obviously, I wanted to win so bad, but when you have such a good, exciting match, and I'm sure the Bowl TV people that were watching, that was so exciting to watch because we both started stringing strikes, and I just got up in the 10th and just was in my process and just wanted to strike so bad, and I thought I had it and just didn't fall my way, unfortunately.
So, and for those folks who missed that the other night, the PWBA Arlington Regional, what an exciting finish for bowling fans. You can find that in the Bowl TV archives if you want to check it out. But Jody Shearer was the #1 seed going into the stepladder. Had a small miscue in the second frame with the 3-6-7-10 split. Had struck in the first frame and then rattled off 7 consecutive strikes. So the match was a 3-pin difference going into the final couple frames. And Jody stepped up, threw a great shot, looked just like the rest. 7-10 on lane 9. Just a stunning turn of events. That gave Jackie the opportunity to step up and mark for the title. She left a 10-pin of her own, picked it up, and then filled that final shot to take home her first professional title. But certainly a heartbreaking moment but motivating at the same time. Jody, you said at that point you wished there was another event or 2 events or 3 events coming up later this week so you could get back out there, continue that momentum, and build
Absolutely.
on that big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a local tournament this weekend, but it's just such a different feeling and obviously level when you're competing with the best of the best.
We know the response from the whole world was pretty big, as you mentioned. Your phone was very busy on that afternoon, and whether it be folks who watched as your career began back in the 1990s, or folks you met along the way in Florida, or new fans who appreciate the fact that you have come out there now at 46 years old, ready to take on today's PWBA stars, and only to use that now as motivation for the rest of the season to come. You have a couple months now to prepare and get ready for some more stops. Hopefully your schedule allows. But what did you take away most from this event, both personally and about the competition in general, that will help you get ready for the next part of the 21 season?
Personally, definitely not to get too down on yourself. Anybody could have a bad day. That first day was really bad. I think that's the worst I've ever bowled in a long, long time. So I just definitely did get down on myself, but picked myself back up. And then one thing I'm definitely going to take back is just take it shot by shot. And something somebody said back home from here said, bowl to lead, not make the cut. So, something so simple like that makes such a big difference. Like when you think about it, So there's a lot that I take from this week for sure.
All right, folks, real quick, we do have a score update after game number 1 now available. So just to run through that, Lindsay Bubershine continues to lead here at the Hall of Fame Classic. She shot 245 in a win. She's now 14-3 overall and sitting at plus 685. But Jordan Richard, she was strong on the fresh yesterday and is continuing so here today. 258 and a victory. She's in second at plus 657. Jillian Martin is third, plus 635. Erin McCarthy drops to fourth. She's at plus 606. And Dasha Kovalova moves into the top 5 at plus 527, just 5 pins ahead of Sandra Gongora at plus 522, 13 pins ahead of Julia Bond at plus 514, and 27 pins ahead of Liz Johnson at plus 500. So there's your top 8. A little bit farther back, Maria Jose Rodriguez, 78 pins behind the cut at plus 449, and Diana Zavyalova rounds out the top 10 at plus 430. She is 97 pins back with 7 to go.
And nice to see one of our team members up there, Dasha, and be good.
Absolutely, a lot of excitement.
Sorry, 710. I just saw it on lane 2. Not good.
Those are not fun. Yes,
No.
Potentially will not be a fan to see that for a couple of weeks here. I would imagine.
No.
So now, Jody, looking back to your time on the PWBA tour, there of course were a few international standouts at the time. You mentioned Carol Giannotti, and of course yourself from South Africa, but not too many. There's some bold occasionally at the Queens and other events, but not as regularly. Cara Honeychurch came out and made a big statement from Australia as well. But now, again, 10 countries represented this week, and that's probably half of what we see in a normal situation. Of course, some players missing this week, Verity Crawley, Daria Payuk, among others. What are your thoughts about that, coming back from a few years away and just seeing this global explosion, both on the PBA tour and now for the PWBA tour?
I think it's great. I mean, because this is where you want to be. You want to bowl against the best in the world. So when you bowl those world team challenges or FIQ tournaments over there, you have a lot of exposure. And definitely this week, I think the whole of Team Colombia was there. And they are so good. So it was really nice to see that. Plus, I've watched them on TV. So it was nice to see that. Verity Crawley actually bowls a lot here in Florida, and I've got to know her over the summer, the past few months, and just a great lady and amazing bowler. And unfortunately, she had to go back home, and that's so sad. It was so sad to hear that, because she was I think she was so ready for this. So seeing all these international players is definitely nice to see, for sure. And in the ITRC with all the different flags representative, couldn't get better than that.
Certainly a one-of-a-kind venue, the ITRC. And you mentioned the flags. Definitely one of the excellent parts of walking in there is seeing all the countries that have spent time training at the facility over the course of the years. Of course, in Florida, Kegel has its own facility as well, with all the tools and technology and all that. So it's definitely great to see so many great bowling facilities dedicated to technology, dedicated to training, coaching in the country to improve bowlers of all skill levels.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very nice. Now, Jody, we had Anne Marie Dugan join us yesterday during the broadcast. We had Tish Johnson.
Oh, nice.
Join us on the broadcast. So, and you know, of course, we talked a little bit about you as well with them. Given the opportunity to bowl with folks like that. You mentioned Carol Giannotti. She was, I believe, Player of the Year. The year you were Rookie of the Year. And just I know it was a fun time on the PWBA tour back when you were when you were out there the first time. You know, tell us a little bit about kind of the folks you hung around with when you were out there on tour. What was it like going from stop to stop with all those great bowlers?
Well, you know, back then you would go for the whole week. So if you had 6 tournaments, you were gone for 6 weeks. So you'd start on the Sunday with practice, and then the pro-ams, and then match play, and then if you made the show, you'd stay. If not, you were off to your next city. It could be 5 hours away, it could be 12 hours away, just depending on what it was. And you know, I was very lucky. I mean, I roomed with Stacey Ryder for a little bit, who was very good friends with Carol Giannotti, Wendy McPherson, and Sandra Joshiri. So I got to know them very well. And one of my other roommates was Julie Gardner, back from California. And she was my roommate for a long time. And then obviously some of the college girls that I bowled with were out there. So we had a really nice group, because we had a few of the newcomers trying to make it in this world with, you know, the Carolyn Doran Ballards, the Wendy McPhersons, Tish Johnson, Dana Miller-Mackey. I mean, all these great players, Hall of Famers. It was just a whole different era back then, and it was different. And obviously watching people that I looked up to and learned from, and very friendly. They would always try and help you with your game. In between, you could go and practice with the ball reps, and it was just a different time, really.
We certainly got to hear a few cool stories along the way as well. And I know another person I'm sure you were excited to see this week was Tennille, and I'm pretty sure she's listening right now as well. So. You know, we've always talked about her being such a fierce presence on the lanes, and you know, just being such a great shot maker. Obviously, Major Milligan winning 3 majors along the way as well. But what's it like now to see her? You know, essentially, you knew her as a competitor, and now you see her as the tournament director.
So Tennille, I mean, there's not enough words that I could say that would just amazing week, and what she's done this week as a tournament director. She is so good. But as a bowler, I mean, I would love to see her compete in 2 or 3 tournaments, and just have these ladies see what Tennille can do with that ball. You know, she is so fierce and so good. Like, I often thought, why isn't she competing? But then when you see her put her tournament director hat on, she's amazing. She's good. She's strong. She's, you know, doesn't take any nonsense, for sure. and definitely very clear with everything. So you don't have to worry. She's got your back. She knows what your next move is, and always prepared, always. So
Absolutely.
yes, if she can bowl a few tournaments, I would love that. Just so that everybody can see her bowl, because I don't think some of these ladies have seen her or see what she can do for sure.
Such a great competitor, and yeah, I think we were trying to set up an exhibition match, a little bit earlier in the week between her and Matt, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Tennille was talking a lot of smack though, so I think she's in good, or ready to take on all comers if it comes to that. But
that would be so good to watch. I really think you should do it if you can.
There you go, Matt. You got to dust off the bowling balls. Got to start stretching.
Well, I need to know all the people Jody knows to make this happen, so I can be ready.
You do know them, Matt. Didn't you say you're from Orlando?
I need to take a trip, spend some time with those folks, and get prepared.
No, that would be a great match. But again, like, can I just say, like, with the PWBA, Bowl TV, USA, like, just everybody has been so great to make this tournament happen. I know there was a lot of talk about it and all the planning that went involved. Even the food. I don't know if a lot of people know that, like, all our food went to a company and they would bring it to the hotel, and then we'd have certain times that we'd pick up the food. The hotel had been amazing. Just the whole venue and everything itself has just been absolutely amazing. So thankful to all of them, Chad Murphy, everybody that put this together to be able for us to come and compete.
And I think that was that probably made it an even more potentially exciting or potentially unique situation for you coming back. It was getting to experience all the procedures and protocols in place for this particular event. So, we talked to a few players about, kind of how they stayed busy, what they were doing. So for you, what were you, when you weren't at the ITRC competing, how were you trying to stay busy throughout the course of the week?
That part was tough. I mean, in the beginning it was fine because you're like, oh, I can watch some Netflix, relax, get ready, get your mind ready. But, if you don't make the top 12, you sit for that whole day and then you've got the next day to bowl. So after day 4, I was ready. And then I didn't have a roommate because, I'm a lot older than these ladies and I didn't know that many of them. So luckily enough, I got to room on my own. But by day 4, I was like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. I should have a roommate. But it worked out well. And, you just focus on to the next day. And what was nice is we got to watch on Bowl TV, so I got to watch the top 12. Although we couldn't be in the building, at least we got to see it happen.
Certainly and as you said, and we've said it a lot this week, but a big thank you, of course, to all the folks who have been who made this environment happen. Rob Gottschall, Tennille, Caitlin, Nick, Lou, and Cecil, all inside the ITRC working every day. And of course, all the athletes, all the ball reps, and of course, USBC and BPWA for all their hard work to bring this back. It's, when you kind of think about it, Jody, this is, obviously a big moment to see bowling back, having the PWBA back, but this is a brand new situation for everybody. It's essentially a part of bowling history. What did it feel, kind of thinking of it that way? What's it kind of feel like, just kind of looking at it like that?
Thank you for mentioning Cecil and everybody at the center, because I forgot to mention them, but they did a great job. And Cecil, like, bringing the balls to the hotel and back to the center and drilling all the balls are just, again, amazing. But like you said, when I first saw the protocols, I was quite excited about it because I'm here in Florida. I wear my mask all the time when I bowl. So I was happy to see that it was taking it very seriously and that we were going to try and make this happen, because you can't bowl if people are getting COVID, right? So when I saw the protocols, it looked pretty strict and fierce, but I was very thankful for that. And I know some people were a bit weary on how this is going to work, or if they had glasses on, how they're going to bowl with a mask on. But they managed, Sunil and you guys managed to sort that out with a bit of defogger and stuff like that. But yeah, when we saw like the testing and all that, I'm like, oh my goodness. When we got the results that all of us had passed, oh, that was such a relief for all of us, because you had to test 72 hours before you came out. Then when you got there, you tested, so you had the risk of getting it at the airport or on the drive over. And then when they said that we were all free and they let us come and practice the night before so we could all get out of our rooms, I think everybody was just so happy. And definitely, like they said, this is definitely going to be one for the record. So it was nice to be part of that history.
Certainly. So I remember because I was listening on the call when they passed the news along, and then all of a sudden on social media you just saw everyone blowing up with posts of being so happy just to be able to get out of the hotel for a second, get to bowl, get ready for this event, get to do stuff that's a little different. But I'm sure the the fact that the safety protocols did allow it to work, and everyone was healthy and good to go. So the safety aspect paramount in the situation, and certainly glad to see all the athletes healthy and ready to go.
And especially for some of the ladies, they don't get to bowl as much as like we do in Florida here. So they might have a center that will open up for an hour for them twice a week or something. So I think they were really excited, especially to go bowl on some kind of shot and see friends that they haven't seen in over a year and a half.
Absolutely. The camaraderie aspect of it's certainly a big thing. And that's true for a lot of these players. They travel together, and it's not only just, to the bowling center and to go out to eat, but, they take advantage of the fact that the tour moves around the country. You get to see different spots, I'm trying to think of which event it was a couple of years ago. I think Sonoma County. All of a sudden, that's a trip where you see all the posts about the players in San Francisco doing all the San Francisco things. And I think that's a great aspect of the tour as well. And just kind of looking at the chat once we brought you in, it seems like you have a ton of fans out there, Jody. So that is awesome. A lot of folks excited to see you compete. So, kind of looking ahead at the 2021 schedule, how much do you plan to be participating out here on tour?
I definitely, I've got the bug now. I want to play. Just depending on my work. I work for the airline, so hopefully we'll be starting back up here in March. So just depending on my days off and when I can get time off, I'm going to try and bowl as many as I can, especially the ones that have the PWBA tournament plus the regional. So that would be good to do both on the same week. So definitely want to bowl as much as I can this year for sure. As the ball rates remind me, I'm not getting any younger.
And the regional aspect of it, very very cool as well. Similar to what we had here at the Kickoff Classic, the opportunity to bowl in the one-day event, kind of keep everything as a different experience, but you still kind of get the feel of a national tour stop. So obviously the regional program has shown its success in on the PBA side. A lot of great players kind of get to learn through that way, and then make their way onto the national tour. And I see that being the same way on the PWBA side. A lot of players kind of get familiar with everything as they look to further their careers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a great program for sure.
All right, Jody. We're going to bring in a buddy of yours from this week to give us a quick update on Shannon O'Keefe. We know she's been fighting some injuries this week. So we're going to bring in Chuck Gardner to say hello and give us an update. So, Chuck, hello.
Hi, is everybody?
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Jody. How are you, dear?
Good, thank you.
Still super proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Now, Chuck, before we get to the Shannon update, Jody was telling us how you were telling her she had the berries this week. So for the folks who may not know what the berries is, will you please let us know?
Chuck Berry, welcome to Bull TV.
Yeah, she had the Chuck Berries. She had pretty good ball reaction, and with her rhythm and her tempo was so good that it just widened her hook spot in a really nice way. And she bowled well. She bowled really well, but it's a combination of she had the right ball in her hand, she was playing the right part of the lane, and she was actually throwing it fantastic. So you put all those three things together, then all of a sudden it becomes magical.
There we go, and it certainly was. And Chuck, we got word during the block yesterday, and we saw Shannon post about it, having some issues with her hip. How is she feeling today, and how's her performance been so far?
She's not feeling any better, but she's made some changes. She's moved up on the approach. She's shortened her footwork to try and put less stress into this when she slides. It's kind of the muscle between her hamstring and her butt. I don't know what else to call it, her glute. A lot of the girls have been helpful. She did it a couple days ago in the final round of match play in the second event. And she was, she creates a lot of momentum and a lot of power. So she was having a little trouble getting the right sole and heel combination. So she was having a lot of chattering in her slides. So she would slip and stick. And I don't know if even Jody might have went into this because Jody changed shoes when she bowled the regional. So Shannon was really struggling because no matter what, she's going to figure out a way to post shots. And so she's posting them and she'd feel a little slip and a little stick. And then she went up in sole to get a little longer slide. And then she went down in sole and she changed heels. She's been all over the place trying to get the right feel for the approaches. And so it's been a little bit of a struggle for every event, to be honest. But she felt she pulled something then, and a pretty courageous performance yesterday. She was in a lot of pain, and she says, I don't want to make excuses. I'm not even going to tell anybody that I've hurt myself. But I said, it's not making excuses. It's just being, honest with the situation. But Aaron McCarthy, Jose Maria Rodriguez, they've been helpful, giving her some advice and giving her some ways to retape it, to tape it differently. But she's in a lot of pain, and it's kind of heartbreaking for her to be bowling as good as she is, but she just can't post the shots. So she's spending zero time on her left side. So when she tries to post a shot, she comes up out of it, and her back angle gets straighter, and it's just affecting the actual posting and finishing of the shot a lot.
Hey, well, Chuck, we'll never forget, of course, the performance for Shannon O'Keefe after a night in the emergency room for kidney stones, coming back, crawling her way to the lanes at the South Point Bowling Plaza and helping Team USA to a trios gold medal.
For sure.
Certainly, she can certainly bowl through some pain, and we know she will, and she won't let anything slow her down. And after that, I can't imagine any amount of pain even coming near to that. So we know she will do everything she can to have a strong finish here today and this week, and get ready for the next one. And she's going to coach her team this week at the Prairie View, so she'll get a little bit of rest. But then she'll be right back to it as soon as they get home, no doubt.
Absolutely. She's I love her website, the So Tough website, because she's some tough girl. So she's got all heart, so much heart, it's unbelievable.
All right, Chuck, we will let you get back to it, but thank you as always, my friend, for joining us here on Bull TV.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Jody.
Bye.
All right.
Wow. I feel heartbroken for her because she's been such a great teammate and just so good with me. I crossed with her for 2 tournaments, and I've never met anybody as prepared as she is, for sure. I mean, she has everything written down in a book, every lane, what was tighter, what she did, what ball she used, what was the differential. She just has everything down and just so supportive, for sure. And I'm happy to be part of Team Hammer with her. So for sure.
I think that's a unique perspective, getting to cross with her for that many games and kind of getting to see the process up close. It's one thing where we're, watching on Bull TV like we do, but, you just see the time up on the approach itself in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what she's doing behind to get ready for every shot. You mentioned the notebook. What's it like just seeing her kind of go through her progress throughout the course of a block as far as, taking it from shot to shot, game to game, and making sure she's as prepared as possible?
She is so focused. I mean, even from the time we get there during a roll call, she's, stretching, doing, taping up her hands, getting everything ready, putting her Genesis tape on her legs, and just, she's so prepared, getting all her equipment, and she's just, she knows her equipment so well too. So that's really good. And what was nice with her too is like we'd bowl and she'd be like, well, how did you find the left lane? And we'd talk through it. She'd say, I played them the same, or I play, So that's why I say teammate. Although we're bowling against each other, we still, it was really nice to work with her. And she even helped me a few shots. And I just wish I had performed a lot better. Would have been nice. But she's definitely so prepared for everything. So it's really sad to see that she's struggling. So, but she'll pull through, and you'll see her at the next tournament for sure.
Definitely some good stuff, some good insight from teammates on the lanes on the PWBA tour. Of course, it can get lonely out there, but you have each other to help. And now, Jody, as we wind down game number 2 here, just taking a look at what you've seen so far on this challenging 41-foot oil pattern and some of the talent in the field. Any predictions as we get down to the last few games here and make the final push for the step ladder? Any predictions, any favorites to go all the way?
Well, obviously, I want some of my teammates from all brands of Brunswick to make it, like Dasha and them. But I'd like to see Lindsay Boomshine up there for sure. She's been so strong for the last 3 tournaments, almost made top 5, top 4 for the last 2. So I'd really like to see her do that. And Liz Johnson, of course, I'd love to see her up there. But it's hard to say because, anything can happen. There's still a lot more games to go.
All right, Jody, we want to thank you so much for joining us today for a little bit, for competing this past week as well and putting on a show for us at the Arlington Regional. We are very excited to see you continue your journey here and look forward to our next event that we get to see you here on Bull TV. I know the fans certainly are as well, with all the love and support. So just A, a big thank you, and B, we're excited to see the next steps for you.
Me too. I can't wait for the next one. And thank you so much for having me. And it's just been an absolute great week. And the amount of support and everybody behind it just makes you feel great. So today I'm off to go practice spares.
There you go. Yeah, practice never stops.
No. Well, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Jody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jody.
Bye.
All right, Matt. That was fantastic, folks. I saw the love in the Bull TV chat. That was very awesome to have her on. So very cool. Jody Scherer, she's back and she's ready to throw some strikes. So we're excited to see her once again here on the PWBA tour in 2021. And we are wrapping up. We moved to 9 and 10 as we're going to bring Chuck in to kind of watch Shannon as she fights with that injury here in the early going of the final round of match play at the Hall of Fame Classic. But as we wrap things up for a quick break, it looks like we're just about done with game 2 across the house here. So we'll go ahead and leave it on 9 and 10 as Missy finishes up. She's going to collect the victory over Shannon O'Keefe Valerie Bercier with a win, 212 to 135 over Lilia Robles. But when we come back to the show, another special guest will be hopping in. Linda Barnes, USBC Hall of Famer, will be next. So we'll have her join the show in just a minute. So everybody hang tight, and we'll be back here on Bowl TV for the end of match play at the 2021 PWBA Hall of Fame Classic. All right, everybody, we are here for Game 3 of the PWBA Hall of Fame Classic taking place at the International Training and Research Center in Arlington, Texas. My name is Aaron Smith, and we are joined, as always, by the one, the only Matt Cannizzaro as well. And as promised, we'll be bringing in a special guest in just a moment or two. So Linda Barnes will be joining the show. But Matt and I are going to sneak into your screen for just a quick second as we get into game number 3 on our featured pair. Lanes 9 and 10 here at the ITRC. We have Stephanie Johnson taking on Lindsay Boomershine and Maria Balanova taking on Sandra Gongora. We do have an update of scores after game 2 today. Lindsay Boomershine continues to lead. She's now 15-3 in match play at plus 703. Aaron McCarthy jumps back to second at plus 659. Jordan Richard in third, plus 615. Jillian Martin plus 607. And Julia Bond plus 566 rounds out your top 5. Sandra Gongora 15 pins back at plus 551. Dasha Kovalova plus 539. Maria Jose Rodriguez plus 516. And then a bit of a drop-off after that. Liz Johnson in 9th place plus 455. But with that, Matt, I think we're ready for our next guest. What do you say?
100%. I already talked to the other Barnes today. Now it's time to talk to my favorite one. Let's go.
This is true. Everybody's favorite bowling Barnes, Linda Barnes, joining the show. Hello, Linda.
Hello. What's going on?
Not too much. It's great to see you. It's been too long, but we're back. The PWBA is back, and we're watching some great bowling. So we're excited. How have things been with you?
Things are good. It's great to be seen. I don't get out very often anymore. I'm good. I'm at work. I'm at Coleman Machinery. Any metal tool supplies you might need, call us up. ColemanMachinery.com. Check it out. Just got to get my plugs in so they keep me at work here. Yeah, I'm doing good. You know, we just moved. I'm trying to get settled, and I love watching the bowling. These girls are amazing. How good are they?
Solid performers, great storylines. We know you, again, you know a lot of the players very closely. You're right down the street. We're hoping next time we'll get to see you, but maybe seeing Jody Shearer on made you a little bit nostalgic, and maybe there's a comeback in the future. We'll just wait till tonight for the step ladder. If today didn't help already, or watching all week, I think what we have in store will make you want to get out here for sure.
Yeah, I'm good. These guys are good. I respect that talent. I'm good sitting at a desk. You know, they joke around about Linda being hashtag all out. That's me. I love watching bowling. Love watching the kiddos. I'm loving watching Ryan and Troy bowling a little bit at school, and just glad bowling's back on the air. It's great.
So you guys are definitely in a new phase of life. You got a day job now. Both kids off in college. You upgraded right to a huge sprawling mansion, so you and Chris could have your own space. Right? How's life been in that regard? I mean, 2020 was wacky already, and now all these changes, all these new things happening. You guys just can't sit still.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because we have never spent this much time together. Married 20 years, and probably spent more time in the last year than we have 20 years combined. And still married, so that's good. But it's been a crazy year, and we didn't upgrade to a mansion. We actually smart sized. We downsized a little bit and got rid of a yard and a basketball court and a pool, and just kind of got smart about it because you never know what's going to happen. Pandemic might come up, and you might need to be smart about it. So yeah, things have been good. It's getting to know each other again and enjoying the bowling moments when we can.
Well, we do know from the rumors and the history, Chris Barnes is, as they say, financially responsible, right? Is that how it works? So it all seems to line up.
Yeah, frugal. We're very frugal. we agree on that completely. He's smart with his money, and it was just the right time to do the right thing. You know, the basketball court is definitely missed, But there's a basketball court right around the corner from where we live. So we'll find other ways. We'll find other ways this summer.
We know the bowling isn't totally missed. You've got the right shirt on right now for the broadcast, and you've got to watch some terrific play. We know you get out there every once in a while. You can't walk away completely. Come on.
No, I haven't touched the ball. I take it back. I bowled a game, maybe 6-7 months ago, maybe a little less than that. I bowled one game. I beat both boys, and I went, I'm out. I'm done. So it just, I'm not exactly young anymore, and body's a little achy, and I just watch all this young talent, and I'm good. I'm good. I'll cheer from the back.
Well, we know you have a keen eye on the lanes, and you've proven it as a performer as well. But so tell us what some of your thoughts are on what you're seeing this week. And you know the facility very well, of course. You know some of the players extremely well as past teammates on Team USA. Some newcomers, some great storylines. But break it down for us. First impressions of the event, of what they went through to make it happen. And then just of the actual bowling and the scores and the versatility and so many games and just all the things.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to watch all the time because I've been working and doing some other things around the house. But ITRC is one of my toughest buildings as a competitor. I struggled there. I had some approach issues even when I was playing. And you can see the girls are kind of struggled. I'm sad about Shannon because I know she's at the top of her game. She's so mentally strong now and physically one of the best athletes we have. So I'm really sad for her to be injured. But her winning was not a surprise. I would have put money on that one. And then watching, the young up-and-comers, Jillian, I guess, right? Sorry if I screwed that up. I haven't gotten to watch a whole bunch, but I watched some of her shots, and they're calling her the female E.J. Tackett. That's kind of a compliment. And all these girls, their rev rates are higher, and you can see, even Missy's game has changed. I'm just watching the screen a little bit, watching people come across, and Lindsay's tilt is phenomenal as always. Trying to think of who else. Dasha, that I've really gotten to watch. Ashley Gallant, her game is stronger than it used to be too. I mean, everybody's just gotten better and better. So I'd love to see. I'm sad that Verity and Daria aren't there. Not to have them compete is a loss for PWBA. They're great ambassadors for the sport. And the lanes look hard. They look really different times this week. They've been really high scoring. But that just speaks to the talent on the lanes, because you can see from pair to pair transitions, different things going on and different tools. They're here.
Oh, so somebody listened to you and already showed up to buy some things. So good job. Good sales pitch.
Hey, I just work in the accounting. That's sales is up to them.
All right. Well, we know you've been keeping after Chris's money and keeping him in line for all these years. So it's about time that you got to get a paycheck out of it on the day to day. But the fact that you still join us for some bowling and some insight is awesome. I feel like just yesterday we were watching you on the Queen's TV show and doing all the cool things that you did in your career. So we've heard some terrific stories this week from some of your former tour mates and even some folks maybe you looked up to in Tish Johnson and Henry Dugan and just some familiar faces. It's been nostalgic and I think everybody's itching to watch more bowling and get out there and see what the next generation has for us. You mentioned Shannon O'Keefe being at the top of her game. Liz Johnson's still a factor this week. She bowled out of this world at the ITRC Classic, so much so that even though match play was a struggle, she was able to make the step ladder and prove that she's still got it and not going anywhere. Of course, you mentioned Jillian Martin, the up-and-comer, and just a chance for many players in the smaller field to have some time in the spotlight and have their stories told and, inspire more people interested already in the rest of the season. I think the reception to Jody Shearer coming back after these years, the chat was exploding with support for her. Just top to bottom. I think this event, this whole week, couldn't have gotten any better.
Yeah, Jody and I actually roomed together on tour for a little while.
All right. Well, any stories from you guys? I know some of it not for some of the players suitable for Bowl TV fans, but some downtime out there, especially back at that time. Longer trips perhaps, and more events, and just a different situation that we have now. The new PWBA tour kind of designed around having that day job during the week, and then being able to compete on the weekends, and maybe not so much this week with our current protocols in place, but a different world, but just fun in a different way.
Yeah, I think the old days when I wasn't a real big tour girl. I only bowled for about 2 years out on tour, really, in all. But it was a lot more games. It was a different kind of grueling. It wasn't as mentally tough. I don't even know how to put it into perspective of the fact that we bowled all day, every day for 5 days a week instead of cramming it into 2 days. I think it's much more physically demanding now with the way they do it. And then to have a life at home and do the tour. I mean, before you were a bowler and you made phone calls and, AT&T loved us. But now they're competing, they're cramming it into 2 days, and they're having a real world life outside of that, and working jobs and raising kids, and it's just a lot to take on.
Well, and now this week especially,
we used to have great stories. I mean, we used to have so much fun after TV shows, and probably really can't share them with your crew, but there might have been some adult beverages in the bar after TV shows, and everybody kind of joined in and had some fun and made fun of each other and threw jabs and just loved being around each other, kind of sharing stories and time.
This week in Arlington, a little bit different. Of course, we know the players came in and they've been isolated for their entire time there between the hotel and the bowling center. So different in that regard. But so many games. You mentioned, you guys got to bowl over 5 days or so. And here we're doing the same, but 9 games of qualifying each day, 12 games of match play, step ladders. This is 24 games of match play head-to-head over 2 days for the top 24. Just going after it, game after game. When it was your time, did you prefer the match play setup? You're a fiery lady out there on the lanes, but as far as the head-to-head and the matches and the bonus pins and all that comes with that, is that where we really saw Linda Barnes turn it up?
I don't know. The Queens is where I had my most success. Those were matches, head-to-head matches. So I guess I have to say that that's my favorite because that's where I had my most success. But the long formats, like the U.S. Open formats, where you're pulling qualifying and match play and different patterns, I think that always brings out the best player. So I personally, that's what I would rather do. I'd rather have long formats, lots of bowling, and the person that learns and changes and can follow transitions. It brings a different kind of athleticism to the sport.
All right. Well, we are about halfway through game number 3 right now. We'll see if Aaron Smith has a score update for us as we get rolling here, and maybe introduce a couple of our matches here and see if Linda has any predictions for what we're seeing right now on our feature pair, and then for the big picture. But Aaron, do we have any updates?
We do, Matt. Once again, the quick rundown of the top 5. Lindsay Boomershine plus 703, Aaron McCarthy plus 659, Jordan Richard plus 615, Jillian Martin plus 607, and Julia Bod plus 566, your top 5 at the moment. Currently, we made the move to lanes 5 and 6 here at the ITRC. So some of the matches ongoing. Aaron McCarthy taking on Maria Jose Rodriguez. Julia Bond against Taylor Boltice on 5 and 6, and over on 7 and 8, Christy Leong versus Clara Guerrero, and Missy Parkin taking on Jillian Martin. And an update from Jason Thomas that Dasha making a run over on 11 and 12, putting together a big game. She had the front six, a chance to still shoot 279.
All right, Josh, I'm putting on a nice show this week, making the step ladder as well at the ITRC Classic. So we know she can throw strikes. We've seen her do it on TV and the new high-powered generation. Keep an eye on her as well.
I'm going to take credit for that because I mentioned her name. You're welcome, Dasha.
So we have Linda Barnes is the good luck charm to offset Aaron Smith, who's just rooting everybody's success when they have a chance at some fireworks here on Bolt TV this week. He's trying to save the PWBA rink budget. Aaron Smith has saved that 100% this week, not giving any of those to anyone.
It's time. Let's get some of this out there.
I agree. I'm going to stop being so stingy with the rings now. So, but Linda, it's that's right. It's one of those things where as we're looking back, watching these folks compete, and Matt mentioned obviously the success at the Queens. You mentioned the U.S. Open, kind of the longer formats. The majors is where you always seem to shine. In looking back, one of my most memorable events, you got to participate in the stepladder finals, the 2012 U.S. Women's Open final on the streets of Reno, Nevada, on Virginia Street. Obviously, that was an incredible setting. Obviously, the weather played a factor into it, which was something a little bit different. But I always like hearing stories about that event. But for you, just what were some of the experiences like for you in that scenario, in that situation, as you were competing outdoors?
Yeah, the Dust Bowl. It was incredible. The view was beautiful when the planes flew over and they did the national anthem. I don't think there was anything more spectacular than that moment. Maybe bowling at Cowboy Stadium. That was another good one. But that atmosphere and what it brought to bowling, the brought is great. As a participant, I would much rather have bowled indoors, obviously, because the elements came into play. I was short-lived. I was 4th or 5th on the show, and I lost my first match to Stephanie. And I'm kind of glad because I had a cord zone shot on my shoulder 3 days before the show to try and make it till I could bowl. And with as much friction as was on the lane, I wouldn't make it very far. So it kind of all played out the way it was supposed to. But it was an amazing show, and bowling showcases bowling, and it was phenomenal in that aspect. As a player, I've seen some really cool things, bowling in front of the pyramids and doing some of that. Bowling on the streets in Reno is definitely right up there with it.
All right, and as we chat with Hall of Famer Linda Barnes, we're going to bring in a guest from inside the ITRC. John Martin, the father of Jillian Martin, is going to be joining us once again. John, hello.
Hello.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you too. You too.
And we're going to get an update on Jillian's jersey for today. We talked a little bit about it toward the beginning of the show with the tribute to Kobe Bryant. But can you tell us a little bit more about the jersey?
Yeah, I decided to have that done. Really after the kind of the tragic passing of him and Gina. It was as a dad kind of with the athlete that Jillian was, it really just kind of hit home at just how fleeting kind of life can be sometimes, and how even greatness can just go away at a moment, and it can just happen. So we kind of printed that. I kind of printed that up. We spent some time designing it. Don't wear it very often, just because it's still kind of a little special to me. I grew up in Los Angeles. I was a lifelong Laker fan. I remember watching Kobe my whole life. So just that and everything that kind of Kobe did for women's sports too, and all that. It's he really wanted to the ladies to succeed and all that. It just means a lot to me. So.
Well, it's a very cool tribute, and obviously, Jillian's been right in the mix. What was kind of how is she feeling heading into today's final round, especially just knowing all the games that she's had to bowl this week?
I mean, you can see there's some nerves. I mean, without a doubt, there's some nerves, which is probably a good thing. I mean, she's kind of struggling getting the ball off her hand right, and just kind of relaxing and being a little free, because that's really kind of her game is kind of this loose, free, easy thing. So I think right now, she's struggling with that a little bit. I think as things go along, and she'll kind of find the groove and kind of get back into the groove. But I'm a little almost happier in a certain way, because this is how she's kind of more focused. I mean, last night she kind of had a little bit of caffeine to keep her going, and I mean, you saw it at the end. I mean, she was bouncing off the walls like a 16-year-old drank like 9 cups of coffee, and I mean, it was just it was unbelievable. So I mean, it was fun to watch as a dad, because it was really funny, because you don't get that very often. But it was kind of driving me nuts a little bit. Like it just kind of was what it was. So
of course. Well, John, we'll let you enjoy these final few games here. Thank you again for joining us throughout the course of the week. We've appreciated the insights, and hopefully we get some more excitement a little bit later tonight.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Boy, if that's
Awesome
struggling to get off her hand.
Now, Linda, you've enjoyed a few years as a parent and all of the activities that come with that, of course. And both of your boys, almost men now, right? They are very busy with their own activities, pulling part of the picture, but especially for Ryan, not so much even until recently, right? He's kind of taking a later taking to it, I guess, coming along and coming along very quickly.
Yeah, it's been fun, right? They both bowled a little bit. They bowled 3 or 4 leagues when they were smaller, and then stopped bowling. Ryan was playing basketball, and Troy was doing a lot of band stuff. So, they've been busy, and they've always kind of done it, but not seriously, until recently when Ryan realized that he had high genetics, and 5'9" probably wasn't going to cut it in the basketball world, and he decided to focus on bowling, attending WSU and practicing every day, and every night talking about bowling. And as you guys know, Chris loves that. So our third car garage is purely a pro shop. Bowling balls and tools and layouts and stuff going on. So it's been really fun, and kind of brought my passion back to bowling. I love hearing about it and talking about it, but not necessarily doing it anymore. Especially if, like John was saying, that's Jillian having a hard time getting it off her hand. Can you imagine? Anyway, and Troy's been bowling. Troy's subbing in a league at SFA in Nacogdoches. He's working in the bowling center, and he's good into it. So it's fun.
Now, we know Chris Barnes was a bit of a late bloomer in the sport as well, right? We saw the putt and the mullet and his success as a 2-sport athlete in that regard, but going to Wichita State for him and kind of a Michael Jordan route in a way, maybe not initial success, but we know what's happened since. So, genetically, again, it got your height, and then Chris's late blooming ability, but just seeing what the now young 2-hander, right? Not even just picking up bowling seriously, but changing to 2-handed as well, all at the same time.
Yeah, the 2-handed thing is new. Excuse me. He's played around a little bit with it, but never seriously. And then he just decided, well, I can't keep up one-handed. Watched a lot of Belmonte, watched video, and he's my kid, so sounds biased, but he's athletically gifted, and he picked it up really quick and has been in touch. He's got access to some of the best players and coaches in the world, so he's got good support around him. You got a video lesson from Mark Baker, and that was incredible. And immediately is averaging, 220 in league. Got all he's a stud. It's cool to watch. It's fun.
That's it. We like emotion. Way to go. It helps the rating immensely. Yes, absolutely. Tears of any kind. Thank you for that. Unprompted. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always fun when you get to see them live a dream that you've dreamt. And him bowling at WSU, although it's not San Jose State, it's pretty good.
All right. Well, excellent stuff. Best of luck to both of your sons in their endeavors in the college life, and of course to you to be able to stand Chris Barnes this much on a daily basis and in an empty nest. Really, Chris is one of my favorite guys to travel with around the world, and just the insight that he offers in many regards. He keeps me in line most of the time too. So. And we're voice buddies, so good dude, good family. We love it, and we love watching PWBA bowling here on Bowl TV. We're getting toward the end of game number 3. Linda, we had a chance to look at some more folks as we moved around the ITRC a little bit. You got to look at Jillian Martin and some of our international stars. You've seen them on the Team USA stage, and you got to watch some of them grow up.
Yeah, it's been, I'm sorry. I'm reading comments. They can't hear me at all. That's crazy. I feel like I'm yelling. Marcy, stop yelling at me. Matt, ask me that question again.
Well, as we turn our attention back to the bowlers and some of the success that they're having, and you have had a chance to watch some of them grow up on the lanes. As a Team USA member, you competed against them. A lot of international representation here. The ladies from Columbia, especially, just how far they've come since their collegiate days, some of them at Wichita State. Just amazing to just look and watch and see some of the scores now as we transition this 41-foot all pattern into really the exciting part of the day.
Yeah, the Team USA International program is just a continuation from college. And that's the great thing about bowling is the big, small world. You know people from all over the world and your friends and your competitors, and you stay that way. Clara and Maria and Diana and those girls are going to bowl against each other for a long time, and I bowled against them, so they've been around already. These girls, they're just amazing. They're just getting better and better. And it's just been fun to watch. And I'm glad I'm on this side of it because I don't think I can keep up over there.
All right. Well, we've had some excitement. Lindsay Boomerstein, as you mentioned, throwing the ball very well and leading the way. At one point, winning 11 matches in a row. So a phenomenal performance from her. But a whole bunch of other ladies who are trying to get into that top 5 now. We had top 4 step ladder earlier in the week, but for this one, it's going to be the top 5. And there's still a handful of ladies with the possibility of making it in. From what you've seen, again, as we wind down, we're nearing the halfway point of this final block. Any predictions on some excitement? Who's going to jump in? Who's going to jump out? And potentially who our champion is going to be when it's all over?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, Lindsay's got something to prove. I mean, Lindsay's out there working hard. She's on a mission. You can see it in her face. Can't count Liz out ever. You just can't. And Shannon, I don't know how hurt she is, but Shannon, Steph, there's just so many that are so talented. Erin McCarthy, talk about somebody who could barely stand up, 2 years ago? And
That's right.
I mean, she had so many injuries and stuff, and so you just this field is so good, and there's so many games left. You just got to watch. That's what you got to do. Come in and watch.
That was definitely a good point you mentioned about Erin McCarthy. It was the U.S. Open, I believe, at Plano, not too far away. A terrible back injury for her, to where she was unable to even sit down during the TV show, and how she made it through. I guess being a nurse, she put all of her training to work on herself just to be able to bowl on that TV show, and absolutely to overcome that physical pain. I mean, bowling, so many different muscles being used, and that's dedication, of course, and perseverance, and that's how much it means to these ladies.
Right. Yeah. They're athletes. I mean, there's just no question about it. You go throw a ball down the lane that many times a day for this long, you're in good shape. I'm watching the bowl, and I'm trying to see it. My screen's too little. Jillian bowled a big game, right?
Yeah, she's wrapping up right now here on lane number 7. She's going to get the victory and those all-important 30 bonus pins. Going to finish with 202. Some struggles there for Missy Park in this game. Christy Leong, a nice game, 259. Clara Guerrero's 217. Erin McCarthy, we mentioned her. She is looking for the double, and that's going to put her in position to get a win against Maria Jose Rodriguez. Maria can finish with 184. Erin can now get to 190 with a strike on her fill. So just 5 pins, not too crazy to get on that final shot. And then Julia Bond in position to take the win. She can get to 235 over Taylor Boltice, who has a max right now of 190.
Love watching Erin bowl. Comes off her hand so good.
She had a great performance at the Bowlers Journal Classic earlier this week, earning a spot in the step ladder, finishing 4th, and has been around the top 5 throughout the course of this block, or each of the blocks, I should say. We did see her have some struggles early on in match play over on lanes 1 and 2. Had a game where I believe she had 58 in the 6th, but she threw late 5-bagger or so, got set up, kind of saved that game, if you will, and then she's been striking a bunch ever since. She's actually led the tournament in average after day 1, averaging nearly 220 despite having a 150, 160 game in there.
Wow, nice adjustments. Well, guys, I got to go back to work.
All right, Linda. Before you,
they can't hear me, so I'll do better next time.
No, this was great. It's always great to see you. And we have one question on the way out. Winners the next time the real Beef and Barnesy are going to be in and host a show. So we want to see we don't want to see Stu. We don't want to see Chris. We want to see Tina and Linda host the show again. So just let us know when that's going to be so we can tune in and let everybody know. So
I will definitely do that. Thank you very much. You guys are great. It's great to see everybody. And all the best to everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. Watch Beef and Barnesy.
Of course.
Thank you, Linda. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
See you. All right, Matt, there we go. Linda Barnes, Hall of Famer and PWBA Tour champion, joining us for a game as we're just cruising along here, talking to folks, having a good time. Watching some
starstruck, absolutely. So one superstar after the other. Very humbling to get to hear the insight and the thoughts and hear the stories from over the years. And again, as she said, some of the best stories, unfortunately, can't be told on Bowl TV. But somebody's gonna write a book or two or a few at some point and just lay it all out there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm sure some of the stories we've experienced on our own, Matthew, are probably potentially, maybe a few of them are book worthy. But once again, that's for another time on Bowl TV After Dark.
I'm saying I'm putting my all my eggs in that Bowl TV After Dark basket. I feel like that's where I can really shine as the commentary guy.
But we're wrapping up game number 3. Nice 234 for Julia Bond. She has been in the mix, started the day in the top 5, and she was in 5th place after the first 2 games and collecting a win. Big score there in the 230s, so potentially continuing her move up the leaderboard. But, folks, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back with game 4 coming up next here on Bowl TV for the 2021 PWBA Hall of Fame Classic from the ITRC in Arlington, Texas. All right, everybody, welcome back. Game 4 of 8, final round of match play at the 2021 PWBA Hall of Fame Classic taking place at the ITRC in Arlington, Texas, as we take a look at our featured matches here on lanes 5 through 8. We have Valerie Bercier taking on Maria Balanova and Clara Guerrero against Liz Johnson over on lanes 5 and 6. Over on 7 and 8, Diana Z taking on Taylor Baltice and Stephanie Johnson against Caitlin Johnson. Once again, those matches taking place on lanes 7 and 8. We do have a scoring update for everybody as well. So Lindsay Boomershine, 3 for 3 today, 16 and 3 in match play overall. She is at plus 737, leading the way. Erin McCarthy still in second place, plus 674. Jillian Martin in third, plus 639. Jillian 14 and 5 in match play. Julia Bond moves up to fourth, plus 630, and Dasha Kovalova makes her way into the top 5 at plus 605. And for the first time in quite a while, Jordan Richard now out of the cut line. She is in sixth at plus 592, so only 13 pins back. But her last two games after that 258 start, 158 and 177. Diana Z at plus 530. She's 75 back of the cut. Sandra Gongora plus 518, 87 back. Maria Jose Rodriguez, 105 back in ninth place at plus 500. And Liz Johnson rounds out the top 10 at plus 445. She is 160 pins back with 5 games left to go. But with that, Mr. Cannizzaro, Matt Cannizzaro, we're going to be bringing in another special guest. So this has been an excellent show so far. We're going to keep it going now. You folks got to hear her during the ITRC Classic Stepladder Finals, and she'll be back tonight for the Hall of Fame Classic Stepladder Finals. Let's welcome her in, Hall of Famer, 20-time titleist, the one, the only CDB, Carolyn Dorn-Ballard. Hey, Carolyn.
I'm going this way. Sorry.
No worries. Well, it's good to see you once again. Thank you again for joining us the other day, and we're looking forward to having you call the action again tonight. Hall of Fame Classic Stepladder Finals. We're in Hall of Famer, 20-time titleist, the one, the only CDB, Carolyn Dorn-Ballard.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Carolyn.
How are you?
No worries.
I want to apologize for my.
Well, it's good to see you once again. Thank you. We'll take you off the screen real quick, Carolyn.
The good news is CDB watches Bowl TV in her free time, so we appreciate the support there, Carolyn.
We'll work to get Carolyn back on the show here in just a second. Once again, we have an update now through 3. Lindsay Boomershine continuing to lead the way. She has been impressive so far throughout the course of competition. 16 and 3. We got a great note last night from Fran Deacon after she joined the show. We were talking about some match play records, and she was able to provide those to us as well. Taking a look at that real quick, looking for the top performance for a 24-game block, and she had 2 of them, 21 and 3. Dana Miller Mackey back in 1982, and then Tish went 22 and 2, so 2 ties in there as well. So some of the top match play performances. In the 24 game blocks.
But we did mention 720 pins up for grabs and bonus pins if you win all 24 matches. And Lindsay Boomershine certainly taking advantage of that. Again, 16 times 30, and still plenty of time to go. She's got 5 more games left here today to make some more noise, and that's how you get to be in the top spot in the standings. Of course, she's pulling exceptionally well, averaging nearly 214 through 16 games yesterday, and then going 13-3. That's how you get things done. That is taking advantage of the format and match play, and of course, being motivated certainly helps as well.
Absolutely. And Matt, we're going to bring Carolyn back here. So take 2. Hello, Carolyn.
Hey, everybody.
There we go. I think we're all set now. So thank you again for joining us. It's great to see you again. And how about this Hall of Fame Classic so far? We've been cruising through this match play, and we're getting down to the position round in a couple of games. Lindsay Boomershine has been phenomenal. I know a player you know very well. What are the things you've been seeing from her this week that have impressed you so far?
Well, first off, I'd like to apologize. I know Matt was making fun, but I'd like to apologize for where I am located. I don't know if Jason told you, but for some reason, Sunday night I came down with vertigo.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm sitting upright and still so that things don't move around. So I wouldn't normally be in my room. So forgive me for that. Lindsay, there's a few things about Lindsay. First of all, Lindsay's always had the talent. She is way overdue. But in talking with her from tournament to tournament and over the years, I think she felt like she had pieces. In other words, hey, I throw it good. Hey, I have a good mental game. Hey, I practice. But it didn't all come together. So now I think over the last few years, she has definitely been knocking on the door, and it's finally coming together where it's becoming more consistent. And that is a tribute to working so hard with all of the components and realizing, you know what, I'm missing just a little piece. And working with her husband, one of the smartest guys I know, Hank Boomershine, I'm sure he was able to decipher some of that. And again, long overdue because the talent has always been there. It's about putting it all together. And you can see that throughout each day, she became stronger and stronger.
I would agree with that 100%. And it's, it's one of those things when you look at the amount of games we've had this week on the challenging conditions, 3 different conditions now, and she hasn't let up. She's been consistently in the mix every event. And I've mentioned a couple of times, she's, if we had an MVP for the Kickoff Classic, I think she's maybe one of 2 or 3 players who's in the conversation for that, for as good as she's been throughout the course of the week so far.
Absolutely. And I think she's become comfortable with her surroundings. I know you've heard it from other players that you've had on. The ITRC does not play like any other bowling center, as we would say, because it really is a training facility. But it's a difficult center to be at pair to pair. You have to remain patient. And spares are important. The patterns, the last pattern and this pattern seem to have broken down. There's some similarities to it. So I think that comfort level helps take you to the next level. And again, I think it comes down to, on the tough matches or the tough pairs, it's who can fill frames that have definitely shined and won the match.
I would agree. And as we kind of look at the top 5, some familiar names, but you got to experience the Brianna Cote Jillian Martin title match just a couple of days ago, and that was incredibly exciting. It was fun to watch. It was everything, and to see Jillian Martin still in this zone, as a young player, hitting the tougher pattern of the 3 as well. What's impressed you about her continuing to go strong here, instead of potentially letting that moment essentially like, hey, I did this, and then all of a sudden it kind of that every once in a while there's a little step back after a moment like that for some competitors. She has continued strong here.
Well, I think the key, there's two keys. Number one, I like the composure. I like the taking one shot at a time, knowing that you need to stay in the moment before you can get to that next match. Number two, I think she has become comfortable not only with herself, because I always feel that that's something you come in with, but she's familiar with her surroundings. And again, she has been able to create something where we kind of talked about it on the show last week. She can get a little further left when the lanes become a little bit of that wet dry. She can get herself a little left, get around it, and her ball still gives her the reaction that she's looking for. So I think it's her composure and that she's even more comfortable now in her surroundings, especially after making that show.
Carolyn, when we have players who may struggle in certain environments or certain formats or on TV especially, from your experience, what does it take to get past some of those struggles, and what do you have to do off the lanes because you obviously you have the ability to get it done, to get there, but what does it take, and how do you move past some of those challenges?
I think you have to be a strong enough person to realize what you didn't do well as what you did well at that moment when the pressure was on. You can't let